If your law firm's website isn't ranking where you want it to, you probably don't need to rebuild the entire site or publish 50 new blog posts before you can make progress. There are several relatively easy SEO fixes most law firms can make this week. These aren't shortcuts or tricks that will suddenly put your firm at, number one on Google. SEO doesn't work that way. But these fixes can remove some of the obstacles that keep search engines from understanding your website and prospective clients from taking the next step. So for this weekly Thrive Tips video, I'm going to walk through some practical things you can check right now. Let's start with one of the most important: reviewing your Google Business Profile. For many law firms, the Google Business Profile generates more visibility, phone calls, and direction requests than the website itself. Start by making sure that basic information is correct. Is the firm name accurate and consistent with the name used on your website? Is the address correct? Are your regular and holiday hours current? Does the primary phone number reach someone who can actually help a prospective client? Then look at your categories. Your primary category should describe what the firm actually is. That may just be law firm, but a more specific category such as personal injury attorney or family law attorney or criminal justice attorney may be more relevant depending on your primary practice. You can also select appropriate secondary categories, but don't add every category that might loosely relate to something your firm has handled. The goal is accuracy, not category stuffing. Review your services, firm description, appointment link, and website link while you're there. Remove outdated information and add recent professional photos of your attorneys, staff, office, and signage. If you have several attorneys who are eligible for individual practitioner profiles, make sure those listings are accurate and aren't competing with or contradicting the main firm listing. This entire review may take less than an hour, but it can significantly improve the first impression people receive when they find your firm. The second fix is to improve your page titles. The title tag is the title Google commonly uses for your page in search results. It's also one of the clearest signals explaining what the page is about. A lot of law firm websites still have titles like home, services, or simply the firm's name. Those titles don't give Google or the potential client much useful information. Your titles should clearly describe the page, the relevant practice area, and the location when location is important. For example, instead of Smith & Jones Law Firm, you might use Portland Personal Injury Attorneys, Smith & Jones. For a practice area page, instead of Our Services, you could use Portland Car Accident Attorneys, Smith & Jones. Usually you want to have the brand name, but you put it at the end. Don't cram every city, county, practice area, and variation of the word lawyer into the title. Keep it focused and readable. Ask yourself one simple question. If someone saw only this title in a search result, would they immediately understand what the page offers? If the answer is no, revise it. That wraps up part one. These two fixes alone can significantly remove obstacles for search engines and prospective clients alike. All right, fix number 3, give every important page one clear topic. One of the most common problems I see on law firm websites is a single page trying to rank for too many unrelated services. A family law page might contain, a few paragraphs about divorce, child custody, child support, adoption, protective orders, and property division. That may provide a basic overview, but it usually doesn't give Google or the prospective client enough detail about any one of those services. Each major practice area should generally have a dedicated page. If divorce is an important part of your practice, create a useful divorce page. If child custody is a major service, give it its own page. The same applies to the specific case types your firm wants to attract. You don't need to create every possible page this week. Start with the 3 to 5 case types that matter most to the firm. Then make sure each page answers the questions a potential client would realistically have. Like, what kinds of cases does the firm handle? What should someone do first? What mistakes should they avoid? What might the process involve? Why should they contact your firm? What happens after they reach out? These are the type of answers people are typically looking for. And a focused, useful page has a much better chance of performing than a thin paragraph buried on a general service page. All right, fix number 4, check the main heading on each page. Every important page should have a clear primary heading, commonly called the H1 or H1 header tag. That sounds technical, but it's usually just the large headline at the top of the page. The heading should explain what the page is about. So, welcome to our website isn't especially helpful. Something more like Portland Estate Planning Attorneys gives both the visitor and the search engine immediate context. Make sure the heading matches the purpose of the page. For example, a page titled Portland Divorce Attorneys shouldn't open with a heading about general family law services. You should also scan your subheadings. They should help organize the information into useful sections, not simply repeat the keywords on the page. So good subheadings might include, what should I do after being served with divorce papers? How is child custody determined in Oregon? What happens during an initial consultation? Clear headings make the page easier for people to scan. They also make it easier for search engines and AI platforms to understand the questions your content answers. Fix number 5, strengthen your attorney bios. Attorney bio pages are often some of the most visited pages on a law firm website. Prospective clients don't only want to know what the firm does, they want to know who may be handling their problem. Unfortunately, many attorney bios are little more than a headshot, job title, and a list of schools. An effective bio should clearly explain the attorney's experience, practice focus, jurisdictions, professional credentials, and approach to working with clients. It should also be accurate and current. Remove attorneys who are no longer with the firm, update bar admissions, leadership positions, awards, publications, and speaking engagements. Make it clear which practice areas and office locations are associated with each attorney. If an attorney writes or reviews content for the website, connect that content to the attorney's bio where appropriate. That helps prospective clients evaluate the attorney, and it gives search engines stronger information about who created or reviewed the content. All right, fix number 6, add useful internal links across your site. Internal links connect one page of your website to another. For example, a blog post about what to do after a car accident might link to your car accident practice page. That practice page might link to a relevant attorney bio, a case result, an FAQ, and your contact page. These connections help visitors continue their research. They also help search engines discover pages and understand how the information on your website fits together. Look for pages that mention a service without linking to the primary page for that service. For instance, if you find a blog post that mentions divorce mediation, but it doesn't link to the service page, link that phrase to your divorce mediation page. If an attorney bio discusses business litigation experience, link to the business litigation page. Use natural descriptive wording for the link. Avoid turning every other sentence into a link, and don't repeatedly force the exact same keyword phrase. The link should be there because it helps the reader take the next logical step, but it also helps search engines find additional relative content. That's it for part 2. Addressing these 4 areas will make your site much easier for both clients and search engines to navigate. Fix number 7, find broken links and outdated information. A broken link creates a poor experience for the visitor and may prevent search engines from finding important content. Check your website for links that lead to error pages, retired attorney profiles, deleted blog posts, or outdated third-party resources, then review the content itself. Does the website display an old office address? Does it mention services the firm no longer offers? Are former attorneys still listed? Do pages reference outdated laws, dollar amounts, deadlines, or court procedures? Outdated information is especially risky for law firms because it can affect more than SEO. It can also undermine trust and create ethical or accuracy concerns. You don't have to update every word on the website this week. Start with the home page, primary practice area pages, or maybe attorney bios. Then schedule tasks out and work on contact pages and your most visited articles in additional weeks. Fix number 8, make the contact path obvious. This may sound like a conversion fix rather than an SEO fix, but attracting search traffic means very little if people can't figure out what to do next. Every important page should offer a clear next step or a call to action. That might be calling the firm, requesting a consultation, completing a short form, or scheduling an appointment. The phone number should be easy to find and clickable on a mobile device. Contact buttons should use specific language, such as request a consultation, rather than something vague like learn more. Forms should ask only for the information the firm actually needs at that stage. And then test the process yourself. Submit the form from a phone, call the tracking number, click the scheduling link, check the automated response, confirm that the inquiry reaches the correct person. Sometimes the marketing campaign is working, but the phone number is broken. The form notification goes to an old email address, or no one responds until the following day. That's not a traffic problem, that's a system problem. Fix number 9, check the mobile experience. A significant portion of your potential clients will visit your website from a phone, especially when they're dealing with an urgent legal issue. Open your website on an actual mobile device and try to use it like a prospective client. Can you read the text without zooming in? Does the menu work? Can you tap the phone number? Look for things like, does the chat window cover the contact button, or are there pop-ups blocking the page? Does the page take too long to load? You don't need to be a web developer to recognize a frustrating experience. If something annoys you while you're testing the site, it probably annoys prospective clients too. Large images are a frequent cause of slow pages. Compressing oversized images, removing unnecessary scripts, and cleaning up unused plugins can often create noticeable improvements. Some of those changes may require a developer, but identifying the problem is something you can do today. All right, fix number 10, review your indexing in Google Search Console. So Google Search Console is a free tool that shows how Google sees your website. If you don't have that connected, that should definitely be on your to-do list. Now, once you have access, check whether your important pages are indexed. Look for pages marked as crawled but not indexed, duplicate pages, broken pages, or pages blocked from Google. You can also use the performance report to find search terms for which your website is already receiving impressions. A page may be appearing on the second page of Google for a valuable question or service. Improving that existing page could produce results faster than starting another article from scratch or starting some new content to try and build it from. Look at what the page already ranks for, then make sure it answers that search clearly and completely. Don't add keywords, just to add keywords. Improve the page because the search data shows that real people are looking for information that page can provide. So what should your firm fix first? You don't need to tackle all 10 items at once. If I were prioritizing this for a law firm, I'd start with 4 areas. First, check your Google business profile for accuracy. Second, review the titles, headings, and content on your most important practice area pages. Third, update your attorney bios and remove outdated information. And then fourth, test the entire contact process from a mobile phone. Those changes address visibility, relevance, trust, and conversion. Then you can work through internal links, broken pages, mobile performance, and Search Console data. The biggest lesson here is that SEO improvement doesn't always require a massive campaign. Sometimes the easiest gains come from fixing the fundamentals your firm already controls. Make it clear what you do, where you do it, who provides the service, why someone should trust you, and what they should do next. Do that consistently across your website and Google Business Profile, and you'll have a much stronger foundation for everything else you want to accomplish with SEO and AI search. If you'd like more practical law firm SEO, AI visibility, and marketing tips, follow along each week, and I'll continue breaking these topics down into steps you can actually use.